Hello, everyone. Today we're here to talk about the latest offering by GuruSchool, the course on certified product owner. Before we begin on the details of the course, we'll just quickly walk you all through in terms of who we are. Um, we at Guru Schools are a practice center that have set up roots in providing the best in-class education with a correct mix of dedication, efforts, direction, approach, and attitude. With this aim, we always constantly aspire to, aim to share, grow, and enrich education in general. We'll now move on to the course that we're going to talk about today is the certified product owner. Um, and before we delve into details about what all we wish to encompass as part of this course, one should primarily first begin with understanding what a product owner should focus on. So the primary responsibilities that the product owner should focus on is building the right product, focusing on meeting the customer's needs and happiness, creating a product vision, ensuring that he balances priorities, risk vis-a-vis value, opportunities, and dependencies. And all of this is to be done to ensure that he's maximizing revenue and ROI. The product owner should essentially measure success with business metrics like user adoption and retention, and revenue or cost savings generated per feature. He should also frequently release product increments to obtain earlier feedback, from the marketplace. So once we have clarity in terms of what a product owner's focus is, we can move on to understanding what essentially are the course objectives. So as part of this course, what we intend to understand is familiarize yourself with the introduction to Agile and the various concepts around it. What essentially is the Scrum framework? What's the practice around it? How does one go about implementing it when building successful products for various businesses? And as a product owner, what is it when we're implementing Agile, as part of building a product, what does that ownership entail? So as part of this course, these are the objectives, that we intend to familiarize the participants with so as to ensure that by the end of the course, the person is confident enough in developing products as a certified product owner. Um, the course is going to be divided into a set of 8 weeks, beginning with the first week on fundamentals of Scrum and Agile. We'll begin with understanding what is Scrum, what is Agile, how are they interrelated with each other. What are the various agile methodologies that one uses as part of building successful products? What essentially is the entire Scrum life cycle? And various terminologies used within the Scrum framework. In addition to that, we will also learn about agile planning, understanding what is agile vis-a-vis waterfall, and between Agile and Scrum, what are the various development practices, so on and so forth. As part of week two, we will understand certain principles that govern the product owner role. We will understand what is traditional product management versus how does one build products in the Agile and Scrum framework. Who is a product owner, what are his various responsibilities, what does his role encompass, and so on and so forth. Um, we will also touch base on creating a vision board and a product roadmap, because that essentially will broadly, guide the product owner in the journey. We will also focus on understanding how does one go about with building empowered teams, crafting the perfect product backlog, and understanding the product backlog refinement meeting. So all of these essentially are topics which will throw light and give the person more clarity on understanding details about the role of the product owner. In the third week, we will touch base on understanding the Scrum framework. And when we're looking at the Scrum framework, we're essentially understanding what is cross-functionality of various teams and features. How is it a very self-managed framework? And within the Scrum framework, what are the roles that various entities play? Primarily the Scrum Master, the product owner, the various developers, the business users, so on and so forth. We will also learn about what is the sprint, what is its purpose, how does it fit in into the entire Scrum framework, what are feedback loops, what purpose do they essentially serve, and what is the sprint backlog. While we're learning and looking at all these things, we're also trying to understand, the interplay or the dependencies that each of these have with each other. Moving on to week 4, we're going to understand how is the agile product owner different from the traditional product owner, and what are the various features that he brings to the table. So essentially, how important is it for him to have a product vision before he begins on the journey of product development and product management? What is evidence-based management? What is product versus project management? Because a lot of people, use these words interchangeably. So the idea is to gain clarity and the difference and understand the difference between the both of them. What is the concept of readiness? What is the meaning of definition of ready when it comes to a product? What is the meaning of definition of done? So all these concepts essentially are important to understand as part of the process of product management. Because unless and until one doesn't see clarity on those, one can't really successfully be a certified product owner. We will also discuss and shed light on what are story points, what's planning poker. These are essentially certain ceremonies or certain terminologies that one will have to be aware as part of being a product owner. We'll move on to week 5, where in week 5, we will essentially focus on sprint planning, on understanding, as part of sprint planning, what are the various meetings that happen between various stakeholders, what are the various artifacts that are essentially required to be generated as part of the entire product management and product development process? What is a daily stand-up? Uh, how do we go ahead with estimation of various user stories that are written? What are essentially user stories and how can we define the acceptance criteria within them? What are burn up and burn down charts? All these tools will essentially facilitate a very smooth functioning of the entire sprint and sprint planning, so to say. Moving on to week 6, we will also continue with understanding a little more detail about the sprint planning. Once, we've kind of done the entire planning, what do we do when there is certain uncertainty, that we come across as part of the sprint? What is something called code refactoring? How does one really aspire and, aim for continuous integration? How does the product owner go about, the release planning? We will also touch base upon on what is scaled Scrum. We will also focus on items like component teams versus feature teams. And this will kind of give us more clarity and the required confidence in conducting sprints and understanding the entire sprint planning process. In week 7, we will progress further to understand what is the sprint review and what are retrospective meetings. We will understand in terms of, how various team members can ensure that the retrospectives are effective and efficient in terms of ensuring that the suitable feedback is relayed and understood by the teams. We will also highlight and kind of discuss in detail what are the day-to-day activities that the product owner actually performs as part of his role when building a product or managing product development. The last but not the least is the last week where we will actually discuss and execute a particular product development via the Scrum framework, wherein we will actually discuss what is Jira, what is the tool Jira, how does one go about creating a product backlog? How do we then create a sprint backlog from it? How do we actually write user stories, the various components around it? How do we go about with writing the sprint goal? How do we set the duration or the time frame for a particular sprint? We will take certain examples where we will analyze and discuss as a group the example of definition of done and the acceptance criteria. So week 8 will conclude the course, and all of this in all, this last week will give us practical insights into the theory that we've kind of discussed and understood before. Moving on to the six pillars of Guru School. So while we impart education, the basis or the foundation of all our endeavors are our six pillars. We begin with ensuring that we have live instructor-led training sessions week on week, and the main purpose is to ensure that we have skilled faculty that is conducting these training sessions, trainers who have industry-wide experience. Second one being the certificate of completion, which means that on successful completion of the course, the candidate would receive a completion certificate from us. The third one being resume preparation. While we understand that the trainings that we're imparting are important, it's also equally important for the candidate to have a ready resume prepared for a successful career ahead. So we kind of assist the candidate with that as well. Besides the resume preparation, what we also provide assistance for is the interview preparation, both for the vendor as well as the client, because we understand that we come with a lot of industry experience, and we understand that the candidate may not really have the entire experience and the vision that's required to crack the interviews. So we kind of assist the candidates for that as well. And last but not the least is we provide ongoing project support and technical assistance. So these six pillars in totality encompass the entire training that we provide as part of Guru Schools. Um, all of us at Guru Schools endeavor to, provide the best experience to all the candidates. So, we are reachable at all of our email addresses. We also regularly publish a lot of videos on YouTube for a lot of trainings that we conduct. We also have our LinkedIn and Facebook page updated with our, updated offerings. So one can have a look at it, and feel free to like and subscribe to these social media channels. Last but not the least, thank you very much for your time, and have a great day ahead.